everyone, it's me again, Happy Jen. Today I would like to talk about imaginary friends and do babies see angels or not? So the reason why I'm starting with this topic is because I have not introduced myself properly in my YouTube videos, and I thought that it would be best to set these videos up in a way where I'm able to address certain concepts, answer certain questions, but also to give you information about myself at the same time. So each one of these videos following from this point is going to be like a story of my life so that you can get the whole story and also the things that you need, the important stuff. So this topic is going to be, do babies see angels, and do little kids have imaginary friends? In my personal opinion, just off the bat, if you ask me, I would say yes to both things. Babies do see angels, spirits, aliens, whatever you want to call it, and little kids do have what we're calling imaginary friends. Now the thing is, one, I don't think that every baby is looking at an angel like people's belief systems would like to insist. I've found that most of the time, spirit communication has turned out to be extraterrestrials, aliens, whatever you want to call it. So sometimes your baby's not looking at your dead aunt or the Archangel Michael. Sometimes your baby is looking at your star family who are aliens. Sometimes your baby sees aliens. So transitioning on from the baby question, we're going now into little kids and imaginary friends. So they're not imaginary because they are real. The only reason why we call them imaginary are because we can't see them with our eyeballs. So is it really fair to call them imaginary friends? I don't think so. I think that as a parent, which I am not yet, you should address the imaginary friends as an actual real friend and a real person. I think you should validate your children's experiences even if you can't see it or understand it. It does not mean that it's not real. So when I have kids, I will definitely try to treat their imaginary friend like a member of my family. I have heard very rarely bad stories about imaginary friends. Could be low entities, mischievous, elementals. Could be, some people use the word demon or believe in demons. Could be that. This video is not addressing that. This video is addressing good imaginary friends and good relationships that the children have with this so-called friend. So, did I have an imaginary friend? Just because I'm a hybrid, a lot of people ask me, did I see aliens when I was a kid? Did they visit me? Did they take me? Did I have an imaginary friend? No, I did not. I did not have one specific imaginary friend. However, I did have a very strange experience. From the time that I was about 3 years old, I would say, because my mother was pregnant with my sister, I started to communicate with everything around me. When I would go to bed at night, sorry, I'm driving, I'm a bad girl. When I would go to bed at night, or supposed to be going to bed at night, whatever was around that had a face, basically, would talk to me, communicate with me. So that means if there was a calendar on the wall that had a bunch of people on it, all of those people were moving and talking to me. If it was a doll, like at my grandmom's house, she had porcelain dolls, it's moving and talking to me. I think you get the point. It could be a picture of my dad or Jesus, but if I was by myself at nighttime and I looked at it long enough, it began to move and it began to talk to me and honestly entertained me in most ways. I wasn't afraid ever. I was afraid at not knowing what it was, but they've never done anything to hurt me or to make me be afraid of them, is what I'm trying to say. It was always very benevolent and friendly. Nobody ever came out and said, this is a ghost, or I'm an alien, and I don't think I would have understood that as a child anyway. I feel like if they would have said we're ghosts, I would have been scared, and if they would have said aliens, I would have been confused or thought that I was crazy or treated like I was crazy, because no one even believed in aliens or talked about aliens when I was growing up, except for like the scary movies that came on TV, or like Contact and stuff like that. So aliens had a pretty bad rep back then, and I'm thinking that's why my guides, Spirit Family, Star Family, fellow aliens that I'm related to, did not come to me as a child and present themselves that way. So I'm thinking that was them, and that's how they were able to communicate with me in a way where it wasn't going to cause any problems, where I wasn't going to get in trouble and no one was going to say anything, because I honestly didn't tell anyone. So your kid could be going through stuff and you don't even know it. Or they could be actually trying to reach out to you and tell you that they're having these experiences, and perhaps you are being supportive, perhaps you are not, perhaps you don't know what to do. I wish I could tell you. All I can say is that's what happened to me. It was strange and unusual. I've never heard of anyone else having that experience, but I also just started to share this experience with people recently, so I'm hoping that somebody will comment below and tell me that they've had that experience. But don't lie to me, though. I want somebody who's really experienced this. So that is my beginning story. That's where the story starts for me. Around the age of 3 years old, I started to see strange things and communicate with something. So you can judge it however you want to. You can say I was a crazy schizophrenic kid. It doesn't happen to me anymore. It only happened as a very small child. And I could go into many reasons of why I think it happened that way. I was alone a lot. My parents didn't pay much attention to me. They were usually consoling me and telling me not to be worried or not to be scared, or everything would be okay, or well, my parents were young and they partied, and eventually they helped me create a very positive outlook, and also helped me to be able to tell stories to my family members and my siblings when we were all going through those types of experiences, where our parents would be out there getting drunk and partying and fighting, and I would be in there telling them stories and entertaining them in the same way that I was entertained. So this is just my personal feeling. I feel like it was my Star Family and my guides. I don't have any proof that it was. I don't even have any proof that it actually ever happened or it ever was real. So I'm just sharing my experiences with you, and you can believe what you want to believe, because I don't have any other reason to tell you these things. It makes me look crazy, so it wouldn't benefit me in any way to share this information with you all. So I hope that helped you get to know me a little bit, a tiny bit, my beginning of my story, and also help you understand a little bit more whether or not kids see angels and guides, and whether or not they have imaginary friends, and if they're so imaginary or not. So I do know some people whose children are drawing pictures of red beings and talking about past lives on other planets that were red, or had red suns, or two suns, or all these different stories and things I've heard from various people whose children and nieces and nephews are having paranormal experiences. So I hope that this helps you. I love you all, and I look forward to the next video where I get to reveal a little bit about myself, but also answer some crazy questions. So I love you guys. Have a great day.